Okay, let's talk about what we're going to talk about this upcoming Sunday at A Place to Talk. That'll be Sunday, April the 5th. We'll be talking about, I'll be honest with you, I prefer to eat. so so I'm just going to title this, I prefer to eat. You say, Josh, you can't just say what you prefer when Jesus says when you fast. Okay, fasting and faith in modern times. Is that a better title for you? On Sundays at A Place to Talk, what we do is we don't have a father, leader, or teacher. Jesus told us to never have a father, a leader, or a teacher. I asked a group of people one time, what would the perfect pastor be to you? And they basically told me the best pastor would be a great father, a great leader, a great teacher. And I said, do you realize those are the three things Jesus said not to call anyone on earth? Okay, so you say, Josh, well, how do you do church without a father, without a leader, without a teacher? Well, we ask Jesus to guide our conversations. Every Sunday morning, we open in prayer and we say, God, speak to us in and through us. Anybody in the room, we want to hear from you. And then I throw out some questions and we talk and we see if God will speak. You say, Josh, but you're leading. I'm asking some questions. I'm doing my best possible attempt to not guide the conversation more than I should. I ask questions and and you know me, I don't cut people off. Well, um, what I mean by that is, people can be totally against everything I say on Facebook and I don't delete them, right? And at A Place to Talk, I try to let people finish their thoughts and share. And so that's what we'll do this coming Sunday at A Place to Talk. Uh, we're going to talk about how personally I prefer to eat. Fasting and faith in modern times. Here's the text. It's Matthew 6:16 through 18. It says, when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Is there a reward for fasting? We're going to talk about this and other things like this at A Place to Talk this coming Sunday. What do you think Jesus says? Why do you think Jesus says when you fast instead of if you fast? I want Jesus to say, hey, Josh, if you fast, if you happen to fast, I'm not telling you have to, I'm not telling you should, but I'm just saying if you do. I'm more interested in that because I don't really love the idea of fasting. Maybe I should for my health. Should we fast for our health? Do you think Jesus said when you fast because he assumed you would, or because culture around that time did fast, or because he wanted you to fast? Can we just agree that Jesus never commanded fasting and avoided altogether? I thought about that, but in Matthew 4, Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. So if we want to be like Jesus, maybe we should do some things. I'm not encouraging you to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm not sure that I would survive. If anybody would survive, it should be me, though, because I've got some packed in resources. My body could live on itself for a while. But should we fast? Jesus fasted. Jesus says in Matthew 17:21, this kind does not go out except by prayer. And they added, we think that some scholars down the road, or some, not scholars, scribes maybe, added and fast in this text down the road. If you want to skip fasting altogether, you could say most scholars believe that this fasting part was added to the verse later by scribes. It was probably influenced by a parallel passage in Mark 9. This cannot be driven out by anything but prayer. Some scribes added fasting. Most modern Bibles, they just kind of leave the fasting as a footnote and don't put it in the main text. So was it inserted for clarity or consistency? We don't know. But if you want a reason to skip fasting altogether, you could just argue, hey, it wasn't in the earliest transcripts. What would disfiguring the face look like in modern religious culture? What would it look like if we did something to make ourselves look like we had been starving and hungry for a while? I don't know what that means or what it would be, but we'll talk about it this Sunday at A Place to Talk. Why is human praise such a tempting reward? Why is it so tempting to to fast because we want others to see us? Um, Easter Sunday's coming up. I realize that we're going to stay right on our red letter text. We're going to just continue to go right through this. But have you ever been to an Easter Sunday church service where there were dozens of people that you only see once or twice a year? Everybody's dressed to the tens. They're kind of dressed up and trying to make it a very formal, showy thing. And if that's the case, is that just this kind of desire for human reward, or should we, if we've gotten to the point where we're not a church going people regularly, should we still just go on Sunday go on Easter Sunday because that gives us, I don't know, some kind of special human praise? What's the difference between private devotion and public performance? What's the difference between privately being devoted to Christ or being devoted to faith and publicly doing a performance, putting on a religious performance? How might this apply beyond fasting to prayer, giving, or even social media spirituality? Um, should we be living our faith in such a way that it's, I don't know, that it's different on camera, that it's different on Sundays, that it's different? Um, I don't know. How should fasting be? It seems like there's a lot of talk of health benefits of fasting. Should we fast for our health? Do you think Jesus, he didn't speak a lot about it? Let's jump back to the text and look at it one more time. When you fast, anoint your head and wash your face. What's that all about? I think Jesus was trying to tell us to be careful not to, maybe even to keep our fasting private like prayer. That your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your heavenly Father who sees in secret. What do you think the reward of fasting is? Could Jesus have known that fasting had health benefits and he just wanted us to fast for the health benefits, and that the health benefits would be our reward? There's a lot to talk about this Sunday at A Place to Talk. Sure would love for you to join us. It'll be 10:30 Sunday morning at A Place to Talk, 1546 Brookford Church Road, Hickory, North Carolina. You're always welcome to join us, and whatever questions you have to ask, whatever comments you have to share, we will listen. We will challenge. Well, we will talk. We might challenge you. We might that sometimes we don't all completely agree, but I think we respectfully have a conversation every Sunday at A Place to Talk, and we'd love for you to be a part. See you then.